Corbisiero is in the house. What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? Good to see
Molto
you.
bene, grazie. Tu come va?
Oh, here he goes.
Cioè,
You've been in Italy for a while.
Molto. I forgot to speak English. Non parlo inglese.
Well, you and I both have traveled internationally a lot in July.
That's right.
And one thing that I know both you and I do is we look at real estate wherever we go.
You better believe it.
Yeah, just see what's going on.
That's right.
Now, I didn't go to Italy, but I was in Spain, Barcelona and Madrid, two major marketplaces. I was in Iceland, which is an interesting place, and Amsterdam. So you were in different places throughout Italy. And I guess what is interesting about that is because San Diego's an international marketplace.
Yeah, it is.
So you kind of have to see some of the other things to really get a gauge on where value is being established. So just what was your experience in Italy, and what can you tell us?
You know that I started my career in Italy. Obviously, I was doing real estate in Rome. So I'm accustomed to see the market in Europe in a certain way. So and then I've been away for almost 10 years here in the United States. And I started my career as well. Actually, I continued my career here in the United States. This year, I took a little longer vacation in Europe for two reasons. One is because one of my intentions was to really study the market in Europe, and the second one because I needed a break. So I went there, and I was, to be honest with you, really surprised. Rome is such a huge marketplace.
Yeah.
Tourism is the number one, source of income over there for the city. And even with that said, the real estate market is down, a lot down.
Really?
I was surprised. I mean, we're talking about peripheral areas, outskirts of Rome, up to 40 to 50% below the market that I'm accustomed to.
Of 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking about 40 to 50% below.
How could that be?
So there's several reasons. The other one is funny because I was reading a book about it, and then I went there and actually looked at it with my eyes. And the other, instead in the historical city center, which we're assuming is like strong tourism, people do bed and breakfast, vacation rented by owners and whatnot. I gotta tell you, I found some deals that were like 20 to 30% below market value.
Wow. Wow. So should we be buying real estate in Rome? Is that what you're saying?
I was looking.
Really?
Yeah. To top it off. Mortgage rates?
Yeah.
1%, 1.25%, 30-year fixed.
What?
Free money.
How?
Free money.
From the government or something?
No, it's just regular mortgages.
This is regular mortgages of 1%?
Yeah, from Banca Intesa, Popolare, whatever the banks out there. 1.25%.
That sounds like a very distressed marketplace to me. If rates are that low and prices are down that much, that's like a really bad sign.
It is. Super bad.
Because that's not what I saw in Barcelona or Madrid.
It's different.
Barcelona was crazy. It was easily as expensive as San Diego, if not more so.
Right.
And I think, Barcelona's great, but San Diego, dramatically better for so many reasons. So that sort of, reminded me of the value here. Now, when you say down 50%, were prices just astronomically high back then at that time?
Yeah, well, look, 50%, this is outskirts. If we're talking about the city center, historical city center of Rome, we're talking about 20, 30% below where it used to be 10 years ago, okay? Astronomically high, no, really. So I like to see always the dollar sign, the investment for each property. Obviously, I don't live in Italy anymore, in Rome anymore. So if you're looking at an investment property, such as a one-bedroom unit in Rome, okay? Let's say Trastevere, or down by Piazza. Piazza Navona is quite expensive compared to Trastevere, but Trastevere, 40 square meters.
Yes.
Okay,
That's
which is
about
850 square feet. A little small little unit. We're talking about 300,000, 250,000. Sunday needs a little bit of work. You can rent a thing like that for 100, 120 bucks a night, easily.
Okay.
All day, every day. So do the math.
Yeah.
You got a mortgage at 1.25%, 30-year fixed. You're required to put 25 to 30% down. As a foreigner, you can actually qualify to get a mortgage.
Really?
Yeah, they recognize your income here. So, I'm telling you, it's
That's
a great marketplace to invest right now. As a matter of fact, next year, I am starting a joint venture with a fellow of mine, and we're starting bringing our marketing material over there, and training and so forth. Hopefully, we're going to open up something in Rome soon.
Really?
Yeah.
A Dream Homes team in Rome.
That's right.
Would it be called the Dream Rome's team?
No, it's still the Dream Rome's team. I like that.
So, what I saw was that, in really everywhere that I was at, including this past weekend up in the Bay Area, where, Los Gatos, I guess is how you say it. Whatever.
Los Gatos, yeah.
Los Gatos. It's about an hour south of San Francisco. The prices were so absurd. 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, 1,000 square feet, 1.4 million.
Yeah, we were just talking about.
Is this like
$1,400 a square foot?
what? It's not by the beach. It's not.
Right.
So to get a perspective on the value of San Diego real estate, and that's really all I'm trying to do in looking at these other marketplaces, is determine what is the value of San Diego real estate, because people see, a lot of Chinese money coming in, a lot of international money. Frankly, It's not just China anymore. A lot of international money coming in, and people are buying cash and paying these crazy prices, and people are like, "Why do they pay this? Why are they doing that? This is so unfair." But look at what they're looking at. They're looking in New York. They're looking in Silicon Valley. They're looking at the Bay Area.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
They're looking at all those places and they're going, well, that's a steal down in San Diego. So that's kind of what I saw. I guess you saw some opportunities in Rome. Was there anything else that you saw real estate-wise over Italy?
Well, I was in Greece as well.
Oh, Greece,
a little bit of time in Greece. It's funny because they talk about Greece being such a huge crisis. People can't survive anymore. That's BS.
Yeah.
We went to Mykonos. I call it Mykonos, which is probably, Mykonos is one of the most beautiful, most expensive islands in Europe. And to be frank with you, it was probably the most expensive place I have ever been in my life. Yeah, in a country that's considered a third world country right now, which is Greece. You know that. They were like having hurdles. So it's interesting how the economy works. People that have money, when there's a downtime, they make more money. So
That's right.
I was there in Mykonos, and I really saw the biggest yachts. People wearing a Daytona chocolate 24 carats in the water, which is a $25,000 watch in the water. Just like that, like, me and you, we have a $10 watch.
Is it a pool?
I'm serious, but every single person had a Patek Philippe or a Rolex Gold, or I have passion for watches, so I noticed that. Talking about a pasta, 36 euro for the thing of pasta, piatto di pasta. Plate of pasta. Can you imagine that? 36 euro?
So that's wild. So Greece is not cheap then?
Dude, probably the other islands are very cheap. Santorini, they said, is a little cheaper. Rodi, which is a little cheaper. Athens, it's all right. But Mykonos, it's the epicenter of the rich people.
Did you see real estate there?
Not really. I looked around a little bit, and the prices are astronomical there too. Compared to, the Europe, I would say.
Well, this is kind of what I noticed in Iceland. So, Iceland was at the epicenter of the mortgage crisis. So the almost the entire country of Iceland was invested in United States mortgages. They got sold by someone on Wall Street. All the municipalities had invested into United States mortgages. And so Iceland was bankrupt, essentially, through the crisis. They actually were insolvent, technically.
Wow.
They sort of just faked it until they made it type thing. Just hung in there and kept paying off debts as they could. And what they did was they became very shrewd business people. That's what happened. They were like, wait a minute, you mean that can happen? And so now you go there, it is easily the most expensive place I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
To buy stuff.
Yeah,
Just to buy a beer or a burger or whatever. It's unbelievably expensive. What they realized was, listen, people are gonna come no matter what we charge. So once they're here, they don't really have a choice. Let's just all agree to charge, a lot of money. That's what's happening. Probably the same thing in Mykonos.
Right. I think, the real estate-wise, in Italy there's a huge crisis. Unfortunately, all my family's there, and I got to ask questions. I still have...
What kind of crisis? Economic?
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Really?
Unfortunately, yeah. And, I start reading economics, what they have to say, and politicians over there, whatnot. First of all, Italy is just, the politics are super bad. It's always been like that. It's always been the same problem. But it's like they're in a funk right now. It's like they can't get up. But we're able to get up, to move things, shake things around. People got back to work, and we are where we are, which is, I think, a great economic scenario that we're living right now.
Yeah,
the real estate market is amazing. People are making money. It's awesome. In Italy, they're not able to do it. It's just the mentality. People are afraid to gamble. In the United States, people have a different mentality. They give you opportunities. It's a younger generation, the millennials, that we are riding this wave, that we're pushing it, that we're investing, that we're buying real estate, we are spending money. You know what I mean? We do that. If you have the older generation just keep everything on quiet because they're afraid. Obviously, there is no money going around. And that's exactly what's happening in Italy. The real estate is down for that reason.
No one wants to take any chances.
No one is taking chances. The younger generation, millennials, still live with mom and dad up to 35, 40 years old because it's a comfortable living. They're not taking a gamble to start their career. They're not taking a gamble to start their lives and start a family. It's a problem.
I agree.
It's a huge problem.
So I just want to say what's up to Herbert Ayala, who said, Joe, great info, thanks. If you want to drop us a comment, we will, of course, we're live right now. So if you want to drop a comment, say what's up, go ahead and do that. We can see you chiming in. We appreciate you watching. So that's really interesting because almost everyone who's a great investor, who has made a lot of money investing, says to be greedy when others are fearful. Yeah. So when you see that fear amongst others, that's when you should come in and accumulate market share. So it would seem to me, based on what you said, and obviously more research needs to be done, but buying real estate in Rome might be a good idea.
It would be an amazing thing to do. I had a meeting yesterday with an investor that I know that he's a gambler and likes to, and we're talking about that.
Well, part of it I think too is just overall, we call it consumer confidence, right? In the United States, you have some fallback plans. So, for example, when I started my first business, I started on a credit card. I got a cash advance on a credit card and did all that stuff. And if it hadn't worked out, I could have just filed bankruptcy or something and started over. So there's always that,
You don't have that in Europe.
Yeah, I don't think you have that there.
It's very hard to get a credit card. It's very hard to get financed. So, for instance, even if you want a mortgage and you're there, you not only need a job like here and consistent income, you actually need to have assets. My question is, if I had damn assets, why would I get a mortgage? So that has always been the same.
They always want to loan money to people who don't need it.
I got a mortgage there back in 2001, I think. I had a house in Sardinia, an island. And I had a steady job, a paycheck and everything. I needed my 3 sisters to co-sign with me. And my dad to have a €50,000 in the bank. I'm like, anything else? My blood? You draws on my blood.
That's crazy.
It's interesting.
So financing, that's always going to hold things up.
Yeah. Credit card, not easy financing, not easy loans. It's an issue,
That's trouble. If you're in an economy where money is hard for people to borrow, then it's hard to sort of keep that money flowing around. Not that the banks need to make any more money from interest, but just from, when someone borrows money, they go and they spend it somewhere. And then that place spends it somewhere, and they spend it somewhere. And it's just sort of a trickle-down effect that doesn't happen if the money isn't being lent in the first place.
And it's a culture to think about this. I mean, having a mortgage rates of 1.25%, that's unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what would happen to this market.
They're doing that so they can facilitate people to get some money. You guys buy real estate, do something. If there is so much inventory sitting out there and it's not moving, it's a problem.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Exactly. So banks have been creative. It's like, okay, I get 1.25%. They're trying to be a little more lenient, and people are not buying. There is no. Think about this. All the, the big brands, Prada, Valentino, things like this and that. Now they're doing the manufacturers somewhere else in Turkey. They're doing a lot of clothes are being made in Turkey. They're not made in Italy anymore. The stylist is in Italy, but the manufacturer is not there anymore.
Really?
Dude, it's a huge problem. I'm telling you. It's so sad because you go there and you see the. I'm looking at it with a different perspective. Obviously, I'm more American than Italian now. I'm actually an American citizen.
You got the flag right
That's
there,
right.
baby.
So I go there with a different perspective, and I wish I could do something about it or change really the the mentality that they have. This mentality of staying put, to not take risks, be there and wait. Wait for what? I
don't know. That's the thing that I never understood about that.
You have to be a mover and a shaker. You know what I mean? I go there, I have 4 sisters, and when I go there, it's like we're having a business meeting. I'm like, you guys gotta do this. You gotta do that. It's like, you are nuts. You're a nutcase. But then they get excited. It's like, okay, we're gonna come check it out. I'm like, no, but you can do it there. Do this. Rent this place, buy this place, do this. And they're like, what? It's a mentality, man. I'm telling you. Here in America, we have...
Well, it's fear.
It's fear, yes.
That's what it is. That's the core. It's your most basic emotion of a human.
But without fear, you're not going to be able to achieve anything. Don't you think I'm afraid of what I'm doing? I'm building a super duper team with great professionals. We're growing so fast. I have a bunch of hires. Of course I have fear. We all have fear.
Yeah, it's the most basic emotion.
And fear needs to be here at all times. If you don't have that, you're never going to grow.
If you don't have fear, then you'd live a very interesting life, wouldn't you? What would you if you literally had no fear at all?
I don't think...
That'd be a crazy thing.
I don't think
you just said whatever you wanted. You just did.
I don't think you'd be... I don't know. It's weird. I think it's something that you need to have in your life. Fear. You have to learn how to overcome fear. You have to learn how to embrace it.
Yeah, I think it either motivates people or paralyzes them.
Yes.
One of the two.
Exactly.
Fear will either make you do things that you otherwise would not have been motivated to do. You say, because I'm afraid of this or I have fear about that, I'm going to do this, even though I don't want to. I'm going to go do it. Or it'll cause you to just go, right. And that's what we might be seeing in the Italian real estate market right now. Well, just creating a great opportunity.
Dude, it's crazy to me. I'm like, most successful people, they were right there at the bottom, right? I've been reading my 3rd book from Grant Cardone. You know who he is?
Yeah.
Grant Cardone was a drug addict. He used to do so much blow cocaine like crazy. I didn't know that. In his last book, he's actually talking about it. I'm like, what?
So he's finally made enough money to just go ahead and tell it all.
Yeah, it's like, he shifted focus from...
He's like, I don't care about y'all anymore.
I was like,
I'll tell you what's up now.
This is who I am right now, and I come from there, and that's what, you know what I mean? And that was his fear going back to that situation.
Yeah.
That's why he's so successful. He talks about being obsessed. It's being obsessed of, achieve what you want, have that drive. Every morning, you wake up, it's like, oh, it's another amazing day. Let's do this. You know what I mean? And I think that's what populations miss. They don't have that drive.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it moves you one way or the other. And fear is the most basic emotion that we have, so it's definitely present. There's no way around it. It's just a matter of what it does to you.
Do you have fear?
Of course.
Yeah? What's your biggest fear?
It's hilarious you say that because I think about it in the form of regrets.
Okay.
Instead of fear. Will I have any regrets? And that's sort of what my fear is to have regrets. That's my greatest fear. But I have such a bad memory that sometimes I think that I'm regretting something that I've actually already done.
I'm regretting something
that actually has happened to me very recently. And so regrets for sure. So I guess my greatest fear would be that I would be breathing my last breath and realize that I didn't do something that I really wanted to do. And I just didn't get around to it, which happens to a lot of people, right. I think. And that's deeply rooted in the fact that I spent a lot of time in a nursing home in college volunteering and talking to people who have been through their entire life.
They talked
at the very end. And they were telling me all the things they wish they had done. And so that definitely was a big life changer for me.
That's funny you said that because it's funny. It's not funny, but one of the greatest, I think, was Jim Rohn. you know Jim Rohn is?
Jim Rohn,
And he talks about this. It's like, imagine yourself being laying in bed by the end of your life, and you just elevate yourself, your soul elevates and look at yourself. It's like, what are you regretting? Did you regret, you know, that you haven't done some things? It's like, so that's why you should live your life to the fullest. That's why you should push every single day, you know? And that's beautiful. I think that's why you're so successful, because you don't want regrets.
Yeah, I don't want regrets. And it's not just for myself, but for the impact that I can have on the planet.
Right.
You know, can I have an impact? Those are all things that I think about on a regular basis.
It's funny because it's true. It's like you get from, okay, I want to be successful in something, and then you get there. It's like, no, I am successful. So now I want to be mentor to somebody or want to make a difference. You know what I mean? And then you get to another level, and then you get there. It's like, okay, now I want to do something else that has even a bigger impact too.
Then you write a book and start telling people about all the blow you used to do.
That's it. That's what Grant Cardone did. You know, it's so funny. It's like, I'm looking at the segment. You and I, when you start talking, it's like, whatever. We don't need that. We're talking about some really the real stuff.
That's the real stuff.
I know.
That's the real stuff. Speaking of real stuff, Dream Homes team. You're talking about all the hiring and stuff that you have going on.
Yeah.
I know you were away for a few weeks in Europe, but I know you didn't stop working while you were gone. So what's up next? What do you guys have going on right now?
So, you know, I was blessed and to be part of the #1 team in San Diego, which is the brokerage really of Whistle Realty, and I learned so much in the past few years. And I'm blessed to be coached by the best real estate trainer in the world, Bill Pipes with Tom Ferry, and I learned so much. So in the past few months, as you know, I took on this new journey. I'm like, you know what? For all these things I learned, I want to share. I want to create an amazing team, and I want to make sure that people that work with us, our customers, our clients, have an unforgettable experience with us. So we want to sell the houses for most money as possible. We want to have the best deal possible for our buyers. So I've been really brainstorming for the past 2 years. This is it's something in the works for the past 2 years. Then I was away for 3 weeks, and I started masterminding. I had 3-4 books I was reading, talking to my coach, and write down all the things. Came back, we got new hires. Now we're about 6 people in our team, 6 agents. We're hiring a new ISA. We have another person support on top of the operation manager. We have Crystal. So a lot is in the works. It's a lot. The idea is to replicate what we're doing in another marketplace, which I'm not going to tell you yet.
Okay.
So in the next 6 months, Dream Homes team is going to be in a new marketplace as well.
Rome?
No, not there yet. But still here around, okay. But yes.
Probably a neighboring marketplace.
I will let you know.
Los Angeles? Am I close?
Kind of.
Yeah, okay. Well, that sounds awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I will speak to personal experience. Each time you have been on Win This Listing, and you have won the show, so spoiler alert, Joe has won Win This Listing. You've gotten an unbelievable result. I mean, the amount you've sold the homes for was just like total shocker in each scenario. So I can say with personal experience working with you on that stuff, that you're selling these homes for way more than people are expecting, way more than we're expecting.
Right.
And that's pretty awesome, man. So the fact that you're willing to share those secrets and everything, that's super cool, dude.
I appreciate it. Well, I mean, I think I realized something, that I'm not the best at everything. I know how to do one thing really well, but the rest I suck at it. Oops. So what I did, I hired people the best in their field. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, it's a no-brainer. When you surround yourself with A+ individuals, then you become an A+ professional. Yeah. It's just like that.
You need that and one amazing suit. And maybe a watch.
And maybe a watch. Maybe a watch.
But no one, and I mean no one, can have the nose. It does so!
Oh,
there it is. All right, thanks for coming in today, man.
Thanks, man.
Good to see you,
I had
Joe.
a lot of fun.
Good
Thank you so much.
brother.
I appreciate
Always.
it.
All right, call Joe Corbisiero, Dream Homes Team SD.